Dance and movement in general feels most sincere to me. You know, it's honest. I'm glad it exists because if it didn't exist, I don't know if I would have a forum to be a human being.
It's something I like doing. I mean, what better way to earn a living than to do something that you enjoy doing?
I've chosen to live with objects instead of people. And I like the fact that questions are raised about how I live here because I'm investigating what it's like to live in this apartment as a collector. It's really my way of expressing myself. It's a 700 square foot canvas with three-dimensional objects that are sprouting out of all the different corners.
My dances are my life. My dances are a removed version of my life. Part of the process of choreography for me, it's very much like what my idea of birth is, you know? And when you give birth to this life, I need to see it live. You know, I need to see it breathe. I need to hear it cry. I need to see it do all the things that it should do. My baby is my work. I'm a choreographer, movement specialist, performance curator, dedicated to change, renewal, inclusion, and growth. Dance and movement in general feels most sincere to me. You know, it's honest. You know, it's kind of like that contradiction my mom used to always talk about: believe what they do, not what they say. You know, because our bodies can tell. And it's a way to, I feel like it's a medium that sort of is a middle line that I can get to everybody. They can still feel, and they can still react. And somehow the connection that those audience members make through the dancers is what helps us all grow. Basically, I really think my start as a dancer began at Dance Theater of Harlem. I trained there as a dancer for five years. I was there about 6 days a week as a 12-year-old. Traditionally in my work, there's very little improv. It's basically really structured for me. Every choreographer is different. Every choreographer has different ways. You know, some choreographers like have their dancers create things and make it theirs. I'm very clear. I want my dancers working. I want them thinking. I want them growing. I don't want them doing the same thing. I don't want them thinking the same thought every time they perform it, because I want them to grow. And I can't wait to get that energy on stage, that like, at-home freedom, that just expression, this is who I am, this is how I move, you know, that you felt free to do as a 2-year-old baby, a newborn's baby. They dance, you know, everybody does. This movement, you know, could mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. You know, it can be fabric, it could be security, it could be lotion, it could be simple or it could be complicated. It all depends on the context and the place and the ideas that are already placed upon your audience members. There's a certain sense of having it look effortless. You know, that's why as choreographers we don't want to hear dancers land loud on their feet like humans do when they jump. We don't want them banging, and we want their feet pointed or flexed if that's what we want, you know. Their faith in me as a choreographer is what has to happen, because they can't really see that moment. They can feel it because they're a part of it, but I can see it because I create it, you know? So they have to be invested in the fact that that moment is very important to me. I can't be a choreographer by myself. I cannot be a choreographer without dancers or sound technicians or a lot of people, you know? I need everybody. It's a collaboration, you know? And that's the job dance difficulty, you know, right there, because people aren't always so ready to collaborate. And you know, they want different things and for their reasons, and egos get involved and all this other stuff, you know, but that, you know, it's a passion, and that has to be forefront. things that have been very difficult for me as a human, you know, as a woman, as a black woman, as an artist, as a lesbian, as all these things that I seem to be. It's difficult, you know, because a lot of stuff is projected on you. And I think that part of the decision about being an artist is knowing that I don't want to spend my life and time reacting. It seems very passive, and I'm not passive. I'm proactive, and change needs to happen everywhere. Dance is the air that I breathe. It's everywhere for me. I'm glad it exists, because if it didn't exist, I don't know if I would have a forum to be a human being. One of the most phenomenal experiences for me as a choreographer, too, had a lot to do with me coming out as a lesbian, like what that was about. When I do like intimate, like lesbian work in my work, within the structure of my work, whether my dancers are lesbian or not, sometimes I do bring in some of my lesbian friends and talk with them about the sincerity, because I'm not trying to create a freak show. I'm not trying to like be a turn on for some horny old guy sitting in the corner, you know, and that's not who it's for, you know. We're revealing intimacy that people don't see. You know, people don't always have access to lesbian intimacy unless they're a lesbian. I did a piece in 1994 at the Brooklyn Academy of Music called Secrets, because part of what I was doing when I was coming out was letting go of my idea of being a heterosexual woman and grasping onto the idea of being who I am. There's so much of letting go in there, the passion, the anger, the frustration, the beauty, you know, the tenderness. There's so many different elements that we combine to move on, to grow. I'm someone who sees things big. I see ideas, I program things, I make big dances, you know, and sometimes, you know, I can't get everyone to believe what it is that I'm trying to produce. Hope is what sustained this company, coming up with new ideas, new structures that accommodate as opposed to accusing the community, because dancers are a part of that community too. We're all a part of the larger part of the world. Now, this could mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but to be honest, it's my blanket. It's comfort. And if this can communicate comfort to you, then you don't really need to know that a blanket's there, because you can feel this.